Hello, Gothic friend. How are you? This is Alice. You are in Gothic land. Welcome to this section that we do every month, once a month. We do every Friday. This section we call it a section where I talk to you. I don't like lies. Can you see? I get nervous. I talk to you about a bit of the end of the month, about the month. I do a bit of a balance. So, welcome to this. You are Gothic, but you don't know it, which is the newest thing that I've started and that I'm very happy with. This last month, this month we're still in March, we've been talking about the ghosts, and I've been doing a lot of research. I already had research, but I've been learning a lot of things, and not just from the YouTube, not just from the videos, but also in general. I think the purpose of doing this as well for me is to actually tell you what is Alice in Gothic Land all about and where you can also find me. It's not just videos, but I do a lot of other things that maybe you're not aware of. And I would like to show you the whole thing, the whole Alice in Gothic Land project, and everything that is going to be coming next. So, since I've been doing this recently with my interviews, I have a little presentation for you, and I hope that you like it. So, welcome again. If you just joining me, if you watch this later on, you can write your questions. You can send them to me at any time. I will be answering them to you either by email or in another video. I will see, depending on what you send. But yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for being here whenever you watch this. And I'm going to tell you a bit about how this month went in content and a bit of the highlights and the next month's projects. So there we go. So in YouTube, March, I've got two logos, as you can see, which I forgot that StreamYard has the logo in the corner. So it's a bit weird. Never mind, you learn. Live and learn, they say. So in the section you are Gothic but you don't know it, which is what you will be normally watching at this time, recorded. I've been talking about in this month about the ghost as a metaphor that shape your identity. And I've been doing like 30-minute video more or less. And if you've noticed, these videos are a little bit different from the first videos that I started creating when I started. They've got music, they've got visuals, and I think they are a lot more engaging. So I would love to know your opinion about those, because I think for when I'm looking at the statistics now, which is something that I'm starting to do as well, I realized how much more engagement they seem to have. And yeah, I'm having fun. It's a lot more work, but I'm having fun with that. Another thing that in YouTube has happened and I'm really happy with it, is in the section, the road to self-recognition. I've been doing a mini series of, now we have 5 episodes talking about midnight mass, and that was with my friend Tuche Kutlu, and that has been super great. The last episode we recorded it in this Wednesday, and hopefully it might not go, you might not be able to see it yet next week because we're a little bit tight, but probably the following week. And we're going to have some surprises with that, because I think they're not just classes, they're not just talks, they're actually lectures, they're actually content that is well researched, and apart from our opinion, having a good laugh and a good time, we are really into giving you a lot of contents and giving you a lot of good stuff, food for thought and critical thinking, Gothic elements, horror, and we talk about contemporary problems as well through this lens. So this is what's been going on in YouTube. Mainly it's been ghosts and midnight mass. So we kind of managing to do like 2 videos a week, which it gives a lot of work, but as I said, is I'm happy with that so far. What else? As I said, collaborations. These are my collaborations this month. I mean, sorry for the photos because I still haven't worked out how to take these pictures better. I think I need a tool that I've not looked into yet. But yeah, Tucci's been the main collaborator this month. We've been talking about Midnight Mass, and we've been there separating, analyzing, dismantling into pieces everything that we could from Midnight Mass. And I was really honored in February. In fact, in February, I was a part of Felix Gomez program. He also has a YouTube channel called Bitácora de Viaje. This one was in Spanish, but it was fantastic. I mean, he found me. I think I told you this last month as well. He found me, but the thing is that with Felix is that we are talking every week. We send each other messages. He tells me about his projects. I tell him about my projects, and it's a nice and beautiful journey where we actually talk to each other quite a lot, and we're learning a lot of things, and it's fantastic to have this kind of collaboration that is long term, and it's going to be whenever we need each other as well. And it's fantastic also with Felix. I'm going to be bringing him very soon to the program as well, to the channel, so you're going to be able to see him as well. But that's going to be more for the Spanish section, because even though he can speak English as well, because he's living in Australia, he's Venezuelan, and he's more comfortable with the Spanish, communicating in Spanish, and also because of time. He's a very busy man. He's got three jobs and fantastic hobbies that take him a lot of time. What else? Other media. I've also been on Facebook. I am on Facebook, and I have two channels there. I have my Alice in Gothic Land normal Facebook, where I post my articles. I post everything that I think is relevant for the brand, courses, lead magnets, downloadables that are lead magnets for you to come to my list, so then you can have access to my newsletters. I'm also in Coffee, but Coffee mainly is for you to support the project, which is actually what I've started doing more during this month, because really we do need support, content creators. We need support in the sense that there's a lot of research going on. We're not just here for the sake of talking to you guys and nothing else. We do this for a living. So this is our brand, these are our products, and YouTube, Coffee, Twitter, LinkedIn, all these things are actually our window, unlike the little shops where we expose ourselves and we tell you what we do. And with the Gothic being such a niche and being such a small space, that there are more and more people drawn into it nowadays. But we require support. So, and also for collaborators, this is something that we take very, very seriously. You can also see me on Twitter. On Twitter, I'm trying to be like tweeting every day, again, with a lot more intention. So I'm more intentional on Twitter. I'm trying to not just share things that I like, which is what I do as well, but also to be more intentional, sharing articles from writers on Medium that I really like, that I think that really resonate with me. I'm more intentional as well, trying to set up a timetable where my tweets go at a specific time. So there are tools for this. I mean, if you are into content creating as well and you would like to know more about this, you can also contact me. In LinkedIn is something that I've not got in other videos, but I'm also in LinkedIn. Is more the professional side of things for businesses. Professional, I consider myself professional in all the areas, but it's more for, as I said, LinkedIn is more for my the professional, for brands, for companies to reach me in more a business environment. Although nowadays you see people from all the spaces going to all different spaces, because it's like this idea of your brand, but you go everywhere in different shops and you put your products in different shops. I like that idea. And on Instagram, to be honest, I'm not really keen on Instagram because it's mainly pictures, and I am all about text and content. Even though I do post pictures every so often, I'm not as consistent as I am in other areas, for example, other platforms. For those who don't know, I do a lot of article writing. So you can find me on Medium, as I said before. Here is the link, alicegothicland.medium.com. That's it's a platform where you can read for free, but also if you read for free, you read limited articles. Normally my links that I post on Medium and on Facebook and Twitter, they are friendly links, which means that you can access them and read the whole article. but it's true that there's a little problem with Medium, which is that it doesn't reach every country. And therefore, that could be a problem for people that, they cannot actually reach. They cannot reach us. So, that's why we have to kind of diversify. Content creators, we diversifying all the time, because different platforms offer different things, and then you have to make the most of everything, and your profile, your brand requires certain things. So no, it doesn't seem that every single platform has everything that you need. So you have to be juggling. So that's why I have also Vocal, which is something I've started really recently, this month as well. So vocal.media/authors/Alice in Gothic Land. And Substack is the other one that I started. And there I'm gothicalice74.substack.com. So you can see in all the other spaces that I am. That's why I don't create videos regularly, like more than once or twice a week, is because I'm trying to do the same for the other platforms. So then I get exposure. I get to see who interacts with me and who doesn't, which is very important. Interaction for creators is super important. Nowadays, we send newsletters to people that we have in our lists, but then that means that people do not reply. People prefer talking to you on Medium, or talking to me more on Medium, where I also talk about the Gothic there. And a lot of times what happens on Medium is that experiences on videos that I have created for YouTube, and experiences that I go through interviews and things, become an article. So then the productivity, from the same thing, you can spread out your productivity in other areas. So then you reach everybody, which is like, yeah, it takes a long time to do it all, but you start listening to the voices and you start picking on what people really are engaging with. So if you guys do not talk, then we need to find out by your behavior, which is, we all do that, me included. Something very, very interesting, and I'm going to take myself off the screen, otherwise you cannot see the text. Something that is very interesting for me that I've started recently, but I've been doing that for quite some time, but I didn't realize. I've been doing it as a linguist and as an English teacher, but trying to help people with their own projects, making sure that I'm using the Gothic is something that I was a little bit scared of, to be honest, but it's something that is bringing a lot of fun and is a lot of joy. It's fantastic when you see people engaging, and when you actually helping them, you bring this light. They're in this dark space, in the shadows, and you go and you help them out. So I've been doing project audits, and this is what they say about me. So we have here Noah Watry, who is a licensed funeral director and writer. He was here with me the other day, chatting away last month when we were doing the first live. And some of the things he says, for example, these that you have here, he says, the questions given to me when we met the second time we met online just to talk about our projects. He says, the questions given to me weren't just about expectations in general. They were regarding my life and my writing. I had to get specific. So you see, people don't just do one job, they do more than one. Alicia and I talked quite a bit on each question, and while we went on a few tangents once in a while, our conversation brought clarity to my life and to my writing expectations. So yeah, that happens to me. You know that I do a lot of editing, because I tend to rattle off and go sometimes a bit on a tangent, but it's a bit my personality as well, because I make a lot of connections, and that can happen while we're talking. But that's also one of the characteristics, or one of the things that people like, that I think then become kind of more natural. Another person I've been helping with is Ali, who I'm actually meeting tomorrow for an interview. It's going to be recorded, so you're not going to see it tomorrow, so don't panic. But this is fantastic, because now she's Dr. Alipino, and this is what she says about me. She says, I wrote my thesis. I knew what I was talking about, but I had a fog in my mind. When Alicia contacted me, something lifted. I had someone to talk to and become clear by talking through it. She helped me structure my thesis even before our online meetings. Obviously, I made a thing before we even met. Her knowledge of the Gothic was really useful too. So this, for me, guys, is just amazing. You know, when the fact of having people giving you these testimonies, sometimes they do that without noticing. So yes, you pick it up and then you think, analyze that, and you think, right, we're doing something here. So that is fantastic. And as I said before, the space that I'm in, I mean, how can you manage to get the ghostly, the Gothic into helping people in their everyday lives? This is what I've been working on for the last 18 months and what you've seen in YouTube. And the idea is that through the Gothic, we don't just find entertainment, but we also find a tool to overcome difficulties in our projects, in our everyday lives. And that's the point where I actually say to you, what, you can contact me and I can help you with your projects, whether if it's a presentation, if it's in the Gothic space, in the horror space, you're a writer or you're trying to write something, or you're doing it because it's just for you, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that we can use all this passion to help you out with your own projects. And also, maybe you just here for fun, so that's great too, because life is also about learning new things, and then you will find the use later on. If you're just relaxing, if you're learning something, just as I said, food for thought. So that's great. That's one of my targets as well. So, what have we got here now for the month coming? So this is what we've got. We've got projects in April. So as you can see, you have my tacky notebook here that I've just printed. I just wanted to know what it will look like. What is this about? On the left, that picture of me and the notepad is actually a book of projects. So what I'm trying to do there with that notepad is actually I'm testing a way of working more effectively with my Gothic projects. And there are so many creators out there that have, like me, thousands of notepads. Look, this is the notepad. Yes, this is the notepad, but it's been stuck there with the plastic and what have you. So normal notebook, but I want to create my own notebook where I have my sections. You know, every creator has, you know, I have my little calendar there. That's February, so that's finished. You see, I've got here some statistics. I mean, it's kind of manual, but eventually it will turn out into something a little bit more professional. For now, it's all handcrafted because I'm just testing, as I said. So I've got notes, I've got sections where I write interesting tweets and the messages that people send me, things, videos that people like, videos that people don't like, books to buy. I have my planners there, how I help someone today. You know, I keep register of all those things that people tell you need to be doing, but it's so difficult to keep track of everything that I think a notebook would be great. But I want to create my own. And to do that, I'm doing a lot of journaling. I've got printouts, I've got books that resemble diaries, and you know, there are a lot of things there going on. So the other thing that you can see here that I'm just going to give you a little bit of heads up is this cover that says All Things Gothic. This is a new project. Well, it's a product. It's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and it's a magazine. So with this idea of magazine, what I want to do is to reach out everybody who just wants to read everything that I do, and everything that you can learn from the Gothic. So in that magazine, we're going to talk from writing, best moments for you to write, creating awareness, what to find your tribe, books of the month, reviews, people who will be collaborating, because I'm going to be, you know, I've got already collaborators there, contests for short stories, you name it. That's going to be the project that's going to be launched next month. Or I'm working on it to make sure that we can launch something next month. That's why places like Substack is very good, because I'm already saying there, hey, I'm going to be doing this, so make sure that you start following what I do in other platforms, and then you can see where the Gothic goes and how it all spreads, and what am I saying where, because video is one format. In the videos you can do some things, but then in the written space you can do other things, and everybody's different. So maybe you prefer a magazine, even if it's online, because then you can read your own page, you will have your tips, you will have your recommendations, and visually it's a lot nicer than just an article with a photo. You have different pages, different images, and we can start from there. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is for April is more collaborations and interviews. So as I said before, I'm going to be interviewing Felix, and we're going to be talking about identity. We're going to bring neuroscience into it, and it's going to be very, very interesting from a psychological point of view. And this is an aspect that I really want to bring to the channel, because it's going to be in Spanish, as I said, but I'll try to do something in English as well for those who don't understand, because it's very important. You know, when we're talking about identity, we can't get away from the psychological side of things. We can't get from the shadow self. We can't get away from issues, from problems. So we need an expert to actually tell us how our brain works, how important is literature, how much of an impact it can have in us. And I think it's going to be fantastic to have Felix with us, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. Sorry, let's go back. Interviews. We're going to have, as I said, tomorrow I'm interviewing Ali, because she's got a book outside that she's working on with, she's collaborating with another person, and it's called Gothic Cookbook, and that is fantastic. The illustrations are magnificent, and she's just great, and you will see when the interview is out there. You will see. Now, yes. So who am I? So for those who just have landed here today and you're wondering, what is this woman talking about? Well, my name is Alicia. I'm Alice in the business space, in my project, in my brand. And what I do, as well as talking about the Gothic and horror, and discovering why people should read more of these things and why you should embrace your dark side, I help people with their projects. And as I showed you before, if you need guidance, if you are in a dark space, or you just need to talk about your PhD, or you need to talk about your project, or you've got a new business, but it's in a space where people don't quite understand what you're on about, I can be that light at the end of the tunnel, because I write, I'm a confidence builder, I'm a project auditor, and I can help you sell products by using your critical thinking. What I do always is to ask people thousands of questions. You know, I'm the person of the thousand whys, and by asking you questions, we create together this awareness. You get out of your chest any problems or anything that you're not quite sure about, and then the project just goes. And another thing that, well, basically, I do a lot of other things, but I don't want to, I don't want to now come up with everything and downloadables and all that, because if you go to my webpage, you can see that there. You go to gothicalice.com and you can see all my downloadables. You're going to see also that I'm starting to do things in bilingual. So it's a bit complicated because I only have one webpage on Kajabi. And that means that I can only, for what I'm paying at the moment, I can only have one website. And to be honest, I don't want to risk it too much in case it doesn't really work. I'm trying to figure out what people like. It seems to be that what I've analyzed from all the analytics that I've done this week, since last weekend, is that what you mainly like, people, is me talking about books. Even though there are thousands of channels that talk about books, you still like people talking about books. You like the ghosty idea. I think I'm going to continue doing a little bit more, because next month, by doing more about ghosts, I can then go into more books that talk about certain ghosts, and we can still see how they have evolved until our times. Remember that the last episode I talked to you about Hamlet, and I gave you an idea of the ghost of Hamlet and the context as a social figure. And we're going to continue with that. So Maybe it might take us another month, but because I'm going to be doing interviews on the Gothic in other areas, that's going to make that the week doesn't, that we don't just have ghostly content. Also, because with the ghost, I want to start bringing the supernatural. And I will tell you next month why I want to talk about supernatural. I know that I've said that for many months now, but now I have a project in hands regarding the supernatural and the series Supernatural. I want to apply for something that Tucha suggested me that they were looking for. And if that comes up, I'm working on it. So you will see why the ghosts and supernatural are connected as well. So then I want to move on to our times, and then that way we can cover the fact that you like videos, that you like books, the fact that you like critical thinking, that we like TV series, and we're going to keep doing that as well. So basically, this is what I wanted to tell you today. I don't want to expand anymore. And what I will ask you is, please get me help my wings. My wings, help me get my wings, sorry. Yes, support is super important for content creators. Support, comments, the way you can support people, the way you can support content creators is very easy. You can just follow and subscribe, put your bell if you are on YouTube, and make sure that you don't miss a thing. Make sure that you download material, because all this material is free for you to see if you like what we do. In general, I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about content that you like out there. Make sure you follow the person, make sure you follow all the content, and then if you think it's too much, just let us know, because we're going to try to put everything in one place. And that's why I think the magazine, the idea of the magazine, is going to be very handy for those who are a little bit shy, that don't really want to come up and show their faces. But it's super important to get the support. So Ko-fi is the best place for you to support me. Even though things are just in English now and there's not much content, but you know that the rest of the work I do is all connected. So come to Ko-fi, support me. By supporting me, you're supporting the project, but you're also supporting other collaborators. And also, if you like the articles on Medium, Medium is also very good in that sense that you pay $5 and you have access to many writers. So if you do that as well, use my link. I will put everything down here. So okay, my friends, this is it for today. I'm not going to go any longer. I hope that you've liked the balance, and I've moved away just from the Gothic only. I wanted you to see today everything I'm all about. I wanted you to see what my week is like, what my month is like, how busy with the whole project, how big it is. It's very challenging, and is ambitious. It's an ambitious project, but I think that it has now a unique voice, because it has unique collaborators with unique styles, and little by little it's going to take more and more shape. With your help, then we'll be able to do other things as well. And at the end of the day, I'm here to have a good time, to have a great time doing this, but also to make a living out of my passion. So if you support, then we're all happy. You get what you want, and I certainly get what I want. So let's keep being very Gothic, my friend. Thank you for watching. Whenever you watch that, leave me your comments and send me emails. You can also book a free first assessment call. And in that assessment call, I can say to you, right, what's your problem at the moment? What is it that where you're struggling with? Is it communication? Is it a project? Is it a business? Is it a presentation? And then we can work together, and I'll give you a plan, and then you can decide how you want to proceed from then on. So it's a win-win, my friend. I hope that you've liked this wrapping up of the end of the month. And I hope to see you very soon I'll see you next week on the next video, and have a lovely weekend. So take care and be very, very Gothic, my friend.